regarding one of the three numbers that I see everywhere. Hello guys, how you doing? I have no idea why, but I have lost sleep. Although at around 7:50 p.m. in the evening, I had said I would be asleep in no more than 2 hours. Well, now the time is 12:45 a.m. and today is Monday, July 13th. This is the Porsche hat that I have got from Mom when you're in the museum the other day. Just haven't said, I'm like, geez, where the fuck did that noise come from? God dang it. So as I had promised you guys in yesterday's video, I'll be going through part of my gallery that has pictures from my trip. Some of them in which are eye-catching photos, which I can get access to on the iPhone 16e. There's some really good photos here. Haven't gone through my gallery. Weirdly, one of the photos was from the trip that we made to Cappadocia in October 2018. Yeah, it is definitely not relevant to the trip that we made to Stuttgart, Germany. But I'll talk about 4 pictures. I'll go picture by picture chronologically. So this was from Tuesday evening where I stood in front of that plane, which I went in the next day. Well, looking at it, it gave me a laugh. It was hilarious. It looked like I was holding that plane. It was just so funny. The next day, in that hole where there are spaceships, I had a picture taken right in front of that plane engine, which is a spot that you can have pictures taken of. Of course, I did film a clip in the vlog last Wednesday where some other girl was getting pictures taken. I did mention that this is a photo spot, so I also had my picture taken standing at that exact spot. Thirdly, this is when I'm in the Mercedes Museum. I'm sitting in the driver's seat of the Germany national soccer team's bus. Back in 1974, Germany, although by then it was called West Germany, hosted the FIFA World Cup, and that was the bus for their team. The 1974 World Cup tournament was one of the 4 that they became victorious alongside 1954, 1990, and 2014. Here's a 4th picture when I'm in the Porsche Museum. Well, the first one, though, like the first of the pictures that I showed you guys, it's just remarkable. All right, well, here we are anyway. Decided to trip over. Okay, we just... Yeah, well, they're claiming that they didn't hear. Freaking selfish weirdos. It became clear at one point that she was playing games with us, acting as if she didn't hear the bell when we rang it 4 times. Well, anyway, so now I'm at my grandma's house. Eshref is still here with us since my aunt Isham is still on holiday. I mean, my other aunt has made it back from Bodrum after I don't know how long, but I think it's been 1 or 2 days since she came back. But Eshref is here with us this time again. Eshref turned out much better today than how he was when we saw him 1 month ago. He was sick. He was having a lot of hard time moving. Well, today Eshref happened to be much more content. That's great. So, like I spoke about, one of my aunts is still out of town. We were talking about the idea prior to me having gone to Germany about the option to take a ferry to somewhere in Sarria. We haven't discussed the exact spot. If we can do it within this month, that would be a great way to end the J&J campaign this year. If not, I'll think of another way, entertaining way to ended. I had ended J&J last year with a trip to the aquarium. That was amusing. I ended J&J the year before with a trip to the Naval Museum. There was another very interesting picture which I will show, that it was taken vertically, by the way. That's one of the pictures that was one of the many pictures I was taken with the 15. Well, it's a humid but quiet Monday here. If this was any other day of the week, I'd be jumping in that pool and having a swim. I would enjoy the fresh water, get soaked. Well, it might rain at some point throughout the day. The rain that we've had on Saturday the 4th was an intense one. Oh, you again. Oh, God. What now? What now, dude? What now? Okay, yeah, he's curious. Maybe he's hungry, or I'm not quite sure. But he always comes up to this door here. Well, this is the picture that I was just talking about. I actually do have two pictures standing right in front of that display of cars. I've got to admire the way that they made this museum. As you can see, all three cars are facing upward on these platforms. Well, that was the detail that grabbed my attention the most. Well, I had to make this quick anyway because iPhone 16e is at 8%. Well, it was at 7%. Now it just went up to 8, 9. Well, whatever. At least it's charging. It needs to be charged at the moment. About that picture, though, unfortunately, it was hardly possible to trim it to a 16:9 resolution that I could get a picture of myself and the entire triple car display that was put on that platform outside the museum. Like, even at best, I could get the three cars and the cap. I was wearing like barely anything else. I'm happy that I got to trim it down to that, because the resolution of that picture that was originally taken was 5:7, of course, in a portrait form. I also did get a few clips showing that display of the three cars when I was in that restaurant, but they do work from, I assume, 12:30 to 2:30, and then from 5 o'clock to 7:30. Now, that was very lucky. That was just minutes before the restaurant closed. I wanted to get in there just to get a couple of clips. Yeah, like, having gone through a lot of pictures, usually it doesn't really matter, but this time around I did have a number of rather eye-catching images. And I went back on the movie app earlier, and about the movie that I want to watch next. So there are only a limited number of places that I can watch, and also a limited amount of sessions that I can watch. So I really don't know how I'm going to do this. The movie had come out like 2.5 weeks ago, but it's already come to that point that none of the movie places and the malls and European side offer the Supergirl movie anymore. Like, I was hyped up about this movie since last winter, so there's a very good chance that I'll have to take the boat to the Asian side, find a mall, and find a good time, because in each of these malls I looked at, there is only one session for the Supergirl movie daily. Oh, I make to... What? God, for like 10 seconds, it was getting nuts out there. Like, it still is at times, but just moments ago, it had reached its climax. Whatever the hell it is, but... Alright, it's not even that hot, and I am going to cook myself in a moment. I don't... Oh, yeah, okay, now I'm starting to... Yeah, what was going on? Yeah, some silly kids playing around, but at least they're not as crazy as those ones that we had been dealing with for so long. You know, those kids that we had in our apartment who were banging their toys on the floor almost every single night. Well, they moved out 3 years ago, and honestly, they should mature up as they are growing up, as they're getting older, because there will eventually. Okay, yeah, I just saw it. So they're playing with Star Wars swords. They're having like a Star Wars battle in the house. That's what it's about. There's this bowl here that he found. Yeah, Smokey loves to play with that thing. Catch. Yeah. When he's good, he loves it. Like, he loves to run after that thing. So, I have woke up to multiple Instagram posts this morning regarding one of the three numbers that I see everywhere, especially where it mentions that the year 2020 was 2020 days ago. And having looked online, I go on Google and I type days since December 31st, 2020. And I find out that it was exactly 2020 days ago. This must be some kind of a crazy coincidence. But today is July 13th, 2026, marking a special day. December 31st, 2020 was 2020 days ago. I guess the reason why the amount of posts skyrocketed throughout the day because of that coincidental fact, like 2020 ended, like it was the last day of the year on December 31st, which was 2020 days ago. But a year ago, today on July 13th, 2025, 2020 days before that had been January 1st, 2020. But man, like whenever I go on Instagram, like I don't want to say it's everywhere. There are a few concepts that make it rather coincidental because, like, you know, the two dates that I mentioned, like the time difference from the beginning of the year 2020 being 2020 days from this exact date last year. Okay, so today's July 13th, right? 7 plus 13, or if you want to reverse it, 13 plus 7 is equal to 20. I don't want to say that these posts are everywhere, but when I woke up this morning, I went on Instagram and half of the posts that I viewed were relevant to the fact that 2020 ended 2020 days ago. But the most appropriate reason why I can say it's been trending a lot on TikTok, on Instagram, is because 2020 was the year that COVID-19 broke out. We were locked at our homes for a month or two. It was a tumultuous year for everybody, but that's what has been trending on Instagram. Like, yeah, the last day of 2020 was 2020 days ago. And yes, we did get Smokey in 2020. Hey, yo, we got you in 2020. Remember? Remember the day that we brought you here? Maybe you don't, but we brought you here in 2020. Not only that, you were born in 2020. Yeah, he was born, to be exact, on August 22nd, 2020. So he's almost 6 years old. Now, something in which I am 3 days late to mention, but you remember that Minion burger that I had when I was in Germany? That's a KFC trend based on the recently released Minions movie. It came out approximately a week and a half ago on July 2nd. All right, guys, I am going to put today's vlog to a conclusion. Thanks a lot for watching. Do leave us a like, and I'll talk to you in the vlog tomorrow. Bye.